Alright, let's just jump right into this, because guys, we've got a massive mystery on our hands when it comes to the MCU's next phase. If you've been following the breadcrumbs, you already know the stakes have literally never been higher. I mean, we're talking full-on multiversal collapse, Robert Downey Jr. returning as Dr. Doom, and a storyline that could just wipe out reality as we know it. But amidst all this insane hype, there is a glaring spider-shaped hole in the narrative. Today, we need to talk about the hidden timeline Marvel's been secretly building, and how Spider-Man's next solo adventure, it's actually the key to understanding the whole structure of Avengers Doomsday.
So here's the big question. Where is Spider-Man during Avengers Doomsday? We recently got the synopsis for Doomsday, and it flat out tells us 3 distinct Earths are colliding. The Avengers have to assemble to stop a catastrophic incursion. The entire multiverse is ending. Yet the biggest, most popular hero in the whole MCU seems suspiciously absent from the main narrative. How on earth can the literal poster boy of Marvel be missing when the universe is collapsing? Well, the answer is incredibly layered. And to really get it, we've got to peel back the very first layer of what Marvel is trying to sell us.
Which brings us to part 1, a street-level disguise. Marvel wants us looking one way, while they build something absolutely monumental in the other direction. On the surface, Spider-Man 4, rumored to be Brand New Day, is being set up as this incredibly grounded, character-centric movie. Peter Parker is starting from absolute rock bottom. He's living in poverty, he's totally alone. But it's not just his personal life that's struggling, his actual body is going through metamorphic changes. His powers are fluctuating. And at the exact same time, organized crime in New York City is skyrocketing, keeping our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man completely exhausted. Behind the scenes, the Department of Damage Control is hunting down an escaped prisoner, making a direct beeline for Peter. Oh, and to top it all off, rumors are pointing to a brutal, street-level clash between Spider-Man and the Hulk. Now, all of this sounds like a perfectly contained, gritty New York story, right?
But here is the major paradigm shift. That gritty, street-level NYC crime fight, it's nothing but a mask. The actual reality is that Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday are simultaneous events. I really need you to process that for a second. While you're sitting in the theater watching Peter deal with his power fluctuations and fighting street thugs, a multiversal war is actively raging in the background. The Avengers are out there fighting a multiversal conqueror at the exact same moment Peter is swinging through a seemingly normal New York. Marvel is literally running 2 enormous movies concurrently.
And that leads into our second point, a post-credit warning.
So how exactly does this illusion break? How do these 2 completely different tones finally crash into each other? Just imagine you're in the cinema. You just watched a fantastic, grounded Spider-Man movie. The credits roll. You're thinking, yes, the street-level era is back. Then the screen fades in, suddenly Peter's spidey sense goes absolutely haywire. And we're not talking about a mugger in an alley. This is alarm bells ringing, impending doom, end of all reality level of panic. His senses are screaming, but he has no idea why. Out of nowhere, a ship crashes down. It's the Fantastic Four's ship, but only Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm step out. They look terrified. They tell Peter that an event is happening that will wipe out not just Earth, but the entire universe, and that the heavy hitters have already left to fight the threat. Peter asks what exactly they're fighting, and right on cue, the sky above New York turns blood red, and an immense alternate Earth appears hovering directly above the city skyline. Cut to black. Boom. The illusion is totally shattered. Peter realizes he's been fighting a petty crime wave while the real war has already been lost.
This brings us to part 3, 2 fronts, 1 incursion.
We are looking at an absolute masterclass in split-screen storytelling across 2 separate cinematic releases. Let's break down this strategic deployment because it explains exactly why Spider-Man is sidelined from the main fight against Dr. Doom. The heroes realize they have a dual threat on their hands. The Fantastic Four bring the warning of the incursions, Reed Richards knows the X-Men are ready to go all in for revenge for their fallen universe, and the heavy-hitting Avengers want to strike Dr. Doom directly. So the forces split up. Destination Latveria, likely on Earth 828, gets Reed, Sue, the X-Men, and the core Avengers. They're the strike team going directly to the boss fight. But Reed knows they need an insurance policy to protect their home base. So on Earth 616, Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm are ordered to stay behind, rally whatever heroes are left, and try to save the civilians. This is the rescue team, and guess who ends up leading the charge on the ground? You guessed it, Spider-Man, flanked by the Young Avengers and Peter Quill.
Which sets up Phase 4, the Life Raft Protocol.
So the board is set. 2 separate movies, 2 separate locations, happening at the exact same time. But as we know, with Marvel's major crossover events, things rarely go according to plan. As the climax unfolds, while the Avengers are locked in a brutal, desperate battle in Latveria against Doom, the incursion peaks back on Earth. The alternate planet is completely visible over New York. Down on the streets,
Peter, Ben, Johnny, and the younger heroes are fighting a losing battle. They're trying to rescue people, but they slowly realize the struggle is absolutely meaningless. The very fabric of reality is corroding right in front of their eyes. It's the multiverse of madness incursion, but on an unimaginable scale. Meanwhile, in Latveria, Doom is completely wiping the floor with the strike team. It is an Infinity War-style massacre. Realizing both fronts have entirely fallen, Reed Richards makes the ultimate tragic call. He activates the Life Raft protocol. On the Latveria side, Reed scrambles to get a handful of surviving heroes into his raft. On Earth 616, Ben Grimm activates the matching protocol, grabbing Spider-Man, Peter Quill, and whoever else he can reach. They launch into the void just as the multiverse completely collapses, ending Avengers Doomsday on the bleakest note imaginable.
And finally, Part 5, the Infinity War Flip. Which leaves us with the million-dollar question. If you're going to make a massive Avengers movie, why take your most profitable, beloved character, relegate him to a concurrent side movie, and only feature him in the rescue mission at the very end of Doomsday? Why sideline Spider-Man from the main battle against Dr. Doom? Well, the Russo brothers actually recently confirmed that Doomsday and Secret Wars are operating on the exact same structural blueprint as Infinity War and Endgame. Marvel loves a long-term poetic parallel, right? And to see what they're doing with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, we just have to look at the past.
This is the grand reveal, guys. The big aha moment. Remember the Infinity War to Endgame blueprint? Spider-Man was a massive, highly active player in the first and second acts of Infinity War. He went to space, he fought Thanos, he was central to the plot. But then he got dusted. In Endgame, he was completely sidelined, only showing up for the final 5 minutes. For Doomsday to Secret Wars, the Russos are executing a total narrative flip. For Doomsday, his narrative involvement is pushed to the background. He's doing street-level cleanup on Earth while the big battle happens elsewhere. He's sidelined early on. But because of this perfect mirror structure, this absolutely guarantees that in Avengers Secret Wars, Spider-Man is going to be the central, highly active anchor character of the entire movie. They're hiding him now so he can lead the charge later. It is an unbelievably ambitious storytelling strategy, running 2 feature films side by side, tricking the audience with a street-level mask, and saving your best player for the second half of the 2-part epic. So I want to pass this to you. Is this interconnected movie blueprint a stroke of absolute genius, perfectly mirroring the past? Or is asking audiences to piece together 2 simultaneous movies just way too much of a gamble? Drop down in the comments and let me know exactly what you think. Are you ready for the street-level disguise? Or do you want Spidey throwing hands with Doom on day 1? Let me know, and I'll catch you in the next breakdown.